Why, hello there. And welcome back to the Fusion Only account. And a very happy anniversary, folks. Now, as you may have guessed from the title, today is finally the day that we take the plunge. And what exactly do we mean by that? Well, you see, a few months ago, we made a community post. And yes, it really did take us that long to finally get around to making this video because, you know, a consistent YouTube schedule is something we can't achieve no matter how hard we try. Regardless of that, in that community post, we asked you, the lovely people at home, a very important question. And that was, who should become the first fully maxed out Fusioneer on this account? And after a grand total of, drumroll please, 6 votes. The results came in at a perfectly balanced 50-50 split between both Changli and WuWa, a result that Thanos himself would have been proud of.
Look. Pretty, isn't it? Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
So, naturally, at that point, we did the only reasonable thing that we could think of given the circumstances. We spun a wheel, and in the end, our girl Changli came out on top. And we're not gonna lie, folks, we're glad that she did. Because we genuinely can't think of anyone more fitting to become the first maxed out character on this account. Well, besides Chixia or Encore, that is. But that is a whole situation in itself. Regardless, Changli, being the Fusioneer who both inspired this account's creation and the Fusioneer who carried this account on her shoulders in its early days, back when we feared prisms the most, it makes much more sense to finally pay her back and give her the TLC she so rightly deserves. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally time. With 3,000 Waveplates in our pocket and a dream in our heart, it is time to finally ascend our girl Changli to godhood. So, before we actually got into the building session for Changli, we figured it would be interesting to finally complete Changli's tutorial mission. You know, after over a year of having it just sitting there unfinished. Mostly just to see if there were any techniques we somehow weren't aware of at this point regarding Changli's kit. Spoiler alert, there weren't, by the way. But regardless, it did give us the chance to reacquaint ourselves with Changli's kit as a whole, because truth be told, we haven't played Changli properly on this account since Galbrina released, so in the end, it turned into a nice refresher course. We relearned everything from her ground and aerial combos to her resonance skill, and even her resonance liberation. And while we didn't exactly learn anything particularly groundbreaking, we did walk away with a very important reward at the end of it, 10 whole asterite. Now, that may not sound like much, but at this point, every single bit of asterite matters when it comes to padding out the Denia summoning fund. So honestly, in the end, worth it. And with that warm-up out of the way, folks, it was finally time. Finally, the time to take on Phase 3 of the Ascension quests on this account. And after a frankly very shaky fight, one that had us seriously questioning this entire decision and our life choices up to this point, we finally managed to pull through and in the process reach the maximum Ascension level for the account. But that wasn't even the biggest surprise, because in a very fortunate turn of events, it turns out we had enough backlogged account experience to immediately shoot us all the way up to the maximum account level of 80. And if that wasn't enough, hitting account level 80 also unlocked a ridiculous number of free bundles full of goodies from the shop, containing much appreciated and much needed upgrade materials, weapon pulls, character pulls, and of course, asterite. Honestly, the payout from just this one mission and a lot of procrastination was kind of absurd. But the most important thing we unlocked from this mission was the ability to fully max out our Fusioneers both now and going forward into the future. Their levels, their weapons, their skills, everything. Which means it was finally time to get to the reason you all clicked on this video in the first place. Cue the montage.
Plan with convention, then conquer by ingenuity. You've taught me more than words can express. I believed I had come to terms with my death. Never thought I could one day catch a glimpse into the perspective of an eternal being. For this, I am grateful. As long as my flames still burn, I will stay by your side, dear rover.
Processing complete. Initiating criticality protocol.
Together we vanish, perish in flames. Guests of the unkind,
Cross-cut. Sever.
take form. Beckon the divine flames. Sever. Beckon the divine flames. Deepen.
Well, folks. Finally, after over 3 hours of farming, and for once benefiting from some genuinely rare foresight on our part when it came to gathering materials beforehand, our girl Changli is finally maxed out, and we have to say, her stats are looking significantly better than before. And now that she's sporting some of the best echoes this account currently has to offer, to the point where Changli is comfortably surpassing even Emeth's build by a sizable margin. It is time to put her to the test, given her newfound status as one of the undisputed powerhouses of the Fusion-only account. This means there is only one thing left to do before we end this video. It's time to take our newly upgraded Changli and put her to the test in endgame content. So without further ado, let's go get wrecked, shall we?
So it's into the void, now me girls and me boys, from mother's hands we go. We'll be sailing to the sun till the voyage is done, then we'll be sleeping in the cold below. Sisters below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, sleeping in the cold below.
Guests of the unkind.
Our sailing ships for the hard and the quick, we roll our load and go.
Beckon the
There's a
divine
living to be made, or there's hell to pay when you're sleeping in the cold below. Sisters below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, sleeping in the cold below.
Gifts of the unkind.
There's a man on high with the devil in his eye and a golden hand, I'm told. It can hurt you, it can hold you, he can kick you off and soul you when you're sleeping in the cold below. Sisters below, we're going where the
the divine flame.
Oh, sisters, you so wise and true. When it's my time to go, won't you lay me down under granite crowns, and I'll be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below.
Start engaged.
Below, below, we're going where the winds don't
Structural
blow.
override initiated.
Yes, we're all
Processing
bound
complete.
down to the
Initiating
deep, and
criticality
we'll all be
protocol.
sleeping in the cold. Sisters, below, below, we're going where the winds don't blow. Yes, we're all bound down to the deep, and we'll all be sleeping in the cold below, below, sleeping in the cold below, below,
Together we
sleeping in the cold below.
Who's the caged bird now?
Sever.
Today
Take
we
4.
sail on the solar ray.
Clear as the
For
blaze.
there's much we just don't know. So farewell with a kiss,
Feathers
then it's
incinerate.
fast for the mist. Till
Assuming
we're all
master control.
sleeping
All
in
units,
the
structural override initiated. Locked in. Order execute. Authorizing maximum output. Here's the me! With me! What now? The fight is on! Together we howl!
Together we vanish. Be reduced to cinders. My blade, take 4. Perish. Triumph through sacrifice.
All targets in sight. Leave it to me. Structural override initiated. Guidance initiating criticality protocol. Processing complete. Locked in. With me. Face me, coward. Triumph at the theater. Break darkness.
Together we vanish. Sever. Beckon the divine flames. Take 4.
Assuming master control. Access confirmed. Structural override initiated. Order execute. Authorizing maximum output. Burn to dust! Into the spotlight! With me to victory! Flee, Phil!
Together we vanish. Take 4. Who's the caged bird now?
And there we have it, folks, the Tower of Adversity complete. Well, at least one of its towers, at least. The rest will have to wait until we bring our other Fusioneers up to the same investment level as Changli. And you know what, folks? Considering the Dragon of Dirge comes swinging with a rather beefy amount of fusion resistance. Missing out on our 3-star clear by a mere 20 seconds is honestly a win in our books. But regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of today's episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider dropping a like, leaving a comment, or even subscribing to the channel. It genuinely means the world to us, and it would be a pleasure to have you aboard. And until the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, remember to take care, stay safe, and we'll see all you lovely people in the next one.